Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Doud here, closing out a very successful week of CES. And speaking of which, I have yet to listen to the audio recorded for the Android Authority podcast for this week. I'll be editing that after this. But when one of the sound guys says I'm going to be mad about the background noise, a sound guy? It makes me a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie. So, the sooner I finish this, the sooner I get to that. It is January 10th, 2020, and this is your Digit Daily. I had to LOL at Tristan's lines from the newsletter that said, "At CES, serious work gets done alongside toilet roll delivery robots." Some of that serious work involves meetings, including meetings between Samsung Chief DJ Koh and telecom partners. Korean media AJ News managed to grab some blurry cam photos of those meetings, and we got some juicy details. It seems Mr. DJ was showing off a quartet of new devices, and now we know some names. First, we have the Samsung Galaxy S20. Yeah, that's right. S11 will not be the name. Rather, Samsung is skipping ahead a decade and going with the Samsung Galaxy S20. Now, before we move on from the S11 name, which will not be, let's remember that Samsung's next Unpacked event is on February 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Nice head fake there, Samsung. Well played. Apparently, we're getting 3 versions of the S20, the S20, the S20 Plus, and the S20... wait for it, Ultra! Oh, for the love of... Anyway, the killer feature on the S20 phones, shooting 8K video, and Samsung has already collaborated with YouTube to make sure that you can upload those 8K videos. Not that anyone has an 8K display, but chicken, meat, egg. Another leak suggests that the S20 will have a 120Hz refresh rate, which would be nice, and a first for OLED screens, unless I'm mistaken. But I did say a quartet of devices, didn't I? What, pray tell, was the fourth? Why, that was the Samsung Galaxy Bloom, which is the oft-rumored horizontal folding clamshell phone that Samsung's been hinting at. Basically, it's the Motorola Razr, and you see, kids, that's why it's important to get out there first, because for the next year or so, whenever anyone talks about a clamshell device, they'll add on, like the Motorola Razr, and frankly, good for Motorola. Unfortunately, reports are that the Samsung Bloom will be marketed towards 20-something women. DJ Koh explained that the design of the phone was inspired by French cosmetic firm's Lacombe makeup compacts. I have no idea how to pronounce Lacombe. It could just be Lacombe, but I'm just making it up at this point. Haha, get it? Makeup? Sorry. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see how that marketing goes. I mean, I'm not going to say that Samsung doesn't know how to market towards women, but... history is not on their side. Also, reportedly, the Bloom will come in 4G and 5G variants and also shoot 8K video. So to sum it all up, CES 2020 was a killer show, and props to CES for doing that, because honestly, the last few CESs have been a little, And the fact that Samsung is bringing these phones to the public is just the icing on the trade show cake. I'd like to extend a hearty congratulations for a job well done to the Android Authority team on the ground and to my friends and colleagues from all the outlets who have been scrambling around that gigantic show for the past week. I'm guessing more than a few Fitbits shorted out during that time. So raise a glass to your favorite outlet and let's head into the Roundup! One of my favorite phones from 2019 is getting a sequel this February at MWC. LG looks to unveil the LG V60 with a second screen case just like the V50 and the G8X. LG continues the dual screen formula, despite the fact that LG already makes folding screens for other manufacturers. That being said, I personally like the dual screen idea a little better, but that comes from someone who has never used a Galaxy Fold, so keep that in mind. LG is also trying to figure out a way to reduce the gap between the screens, which was by as much as an inch on the G8X, which I contend isn't really a problem if you use the phone properly, as in side-by-side apps, not one big screen. It'll be interesting to see if LG actually addresses that problem, or if it goes the Apple route by saying, don't do that. Android Authority broke down the weirdest tech that it saw at CES, and we're going to use a couple of slots from the Roundup for this section because... damn. And the first up is the Ooma 4G connected phone. But it's not a smartphone, it's a phone, like a house phone. Ooma designed a house phone that connects to a 4G router that connects to Sprint's network, giving you a 4G connected dumb phone that only uses 4G to give you a house phone. You can't surf or check Facebook or anything with that. just make phone calls. You know what else connects to a 4G network and makes phone calls? The smartphone that's already in your pocket. Just why? Next up is the Lovett from Japanese company Groove X, which is an adorable little robot that moves around your home and responds to your commands. It's designed to basically be a pet in a home where having a living, breathing pet isn't necessarily feasible, which is great. But it navigates around your house using a Wi-Fi connected camera and no. This is basically like a Ring camera that can go anywhere in your house, and that's definitely not a terrible idea. Even if this had come out 6 months ago before all the Ring stuff, maybe, but even then, you'd still have to contend with a $3,000 price tag and between $85 and $185 per month for software updates. Just get a dog, people. Mark Zuckerberg's 2020 manifesto is out, and he's ditching the yearly goals in favor of a 10-year goal to look ahead to 2030 and to see how he can make his world a better place. TechCrunch is quick to point out that many of the problems that Zuck describes, including isolation, envy, and gentrification, are at least in part caused by Facebook, while the solutions he wants to promote, notably AR and VR, are both products that Facebook is pushing. So Facebook will solve all of the problems that Facebook caused. That's really great. My confidence is overwhelming. After the insane year that 2019 was for theaters, Gizmodo wants to remind you not to lose hope. 2020 is going to be pretty great for movies as well. And to that end, it breaks down month by month all the movies that you should give a damn about in 2020. This includes Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, and yes, No Time to Die, the 25th James Bond film, and how many missions did that dude go on anyway? Black Widow, the movie about a dead character who's not dead because it's a prequel, but you know she dies at the end, so really what's the point? And The Quiet Place, Part 2. And Wonder Woman 1984, featuring a 100% less dead Steve Trevor somehow. Ghostbusters Afterlife, subtitled What 2016 Movie? And Bill and Ted Face the Music. And that only gets us through to August. There are some really intriguing movies coming up, and I think I'll be spending a bit of time in the theater. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Scorsese. I meant theme park. Honestly, click the link in the show notes and spend all day watching trailers because they're all pretty great. And finally, a simple fix might be in store to raise your child's test scores in school. Install air filters in schools. Back in 2015, an emergency situation in Los Angeles caused all schools to install $1,000 air filtration systems into each school. Suddenly, test scores started to go up and stay up for several generations of students. This prompted a study that has found reduced cognition when the air is more polluted. Clean it up, and blammo, better test scores. Now, this is just one study, so it certainly bears more scrutiny, but let's all be honest here. Won't we all feel better if this study is scrutinized by scientists working in buildings with air filters? Yeah, I thought so. So that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Doud, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again on Monday.